Hi and welcome to the next part in our series of tutorials, and this one we're going to continue where we left off as before. This time we're now up to the simple alarm creation scenes. So without further ado, we will log in to the home center and just put my details back in again. Right.
Which device did you want?
Now, this is where we were last time. And
Sorry, I couldn't find
Alexa,
a
stop.
group.
Sorry. Sometimes that's quite sensitive, so it picks up. But anyway, now let's go back to devices. Here's our scenes that we have for the alarm so far. Sorry, the devices we have for the alarm so far. We've got a front sensor, a siren, keypad on, keypad off, and a front door sensor. Now these devices is as before, like I said before, I've already put a few devices in just to show an example, but in reality you're going to have many more. And the principle is the same. The difference is we add the devices up, but I will show you as we get along. So what we need to do is create the scene now. Now, in principle, what we do normally, we trigger the keypad first. When that keypad turns on, we leave the property and we then make sure that the sensors, both of these, become armed. So they are in detection mode. If this sensor is triggered, the motion sensor, then we want the alarm to activate, i.e. the siren to start blaring out, and also a notification coming to our phone to say that the alarm's been activated. With the front door, it's an entry-exit system, so we want it to allow us a little bit of time to open the door and to disarm the alarm before it starts activating. Finally, we have the keypad off option. As soon as we activate that, it disarms both of these sensors, and therefore we don't get the alarm activation. Just in case the siren is running, we also wanted to turn the siren off. So that's in words how we are going to do the scene. And in between, we will have our notifications to turn the alarm on, alarm is armed, alarm is off, and alarm has activated, just like we created in our previous session. So let's go to scenes and add scene. Let's start with the name, and this one is alarm on, and we're going to assign it to the alarm room. And we always tick this box to make sure we can, just in case the alarm does activate and we do need to disable the alarm, etc., or enable it, whichever the case, we always enable this so we can carry on working. Now we've got to create a trigger, i.e. how are we going to turn the alarm on? And we're going to turn the alarm on by either pressing the play button or by letting the keypad. So we'll start with the device, systems, alarm, and keypad on. So when the keypad is being breached, as in once we press the button, straight away, then we will have the first of all we'll have a notification. Let's do the notification first to say that the alarm is on. That's instant, we just want that to come straight away. Then we're going to add on our sensors. So we'll start off with the front sensor. We want to arm it, but we don't want to arm it straight away. We want to arm it after 30 seconds to give us time to leave. And then and we want to arm our door sensor. Just scroll down to front door, and again we want to arm it after 30 seconds. So there we have it. So, and then you would continue like that with your next sensor, etc., all the way till you've done all your sensors that you're looking for. So in a block diagram, once the keypad has been breached, as in we've pressed the button, or we just press the play on the scene icon itself via your mobile or on the computer if you so wish, then send me a push notification and arm the front sensor after 30 seconds and arm the front door after 30 seconds. And then we just click save. And there we are. So this is what I mean by the play button here. It's the equivalent of being available on your mobile as well. So that's, to be honest, that's as simple as that. That's all it is for the alarm on scene. We then going to go to the next scene. Let's do the alarm off scene. So let's add again graphical blocks and start with a name again. Again, for simplicity, let's put it there, put that one on there, and let's start again with the devices. We know the trigger this time is the alarm keypad off button. Again, when it's being breached instantly, then so now every time we put the code in, we swipe a tag, or from our mobile press the alarm off button. It's going to devices. Let's start with the front sensor to disarm. No time delay or anything, we want it to be disarmed instantly, hence why we're going to leave that as a 0. And also, and the front door disarm instantly, and also just in case the siren had been activated, we want to turn the siren off as well instantly. So we've got that. So we've got the front sensor disarmed, the front door disarmed, and the siren turned off. And also we need a notification on our phone just in case that the alarm is off, and it's a push notification. Again, instant notification. So once the keypad off is pressed, or we press play on the scene, then disarm the front door, turn the siren off, and send me an alarm off notification, and we'll save that. So we've got the basics: alarm on and alarm off. Next part we need to look at is activation of the alarm. So what happens when somebody turned the alarm on and somebody actually breached one of the sensors? So again, another block scene, and we'll name it alarm activation. Again, we'll put it in the alarm room. This time I'm going to put that to 10 because we want it any sensor. At the moment we've only got 2, but in a house you might have a lot more. So we don't want this scene to be stopping after only 2 instances. So let's get 10 running, which means that we can keep getting activations and the alarm keeps going off as well. So advanced. Now triggers. This is the part when it's a bit different. This time the trigger is the sensor, because that is what's going to trigger this scene, and that's what's going to set off the alarm. Now in our example I've only got 1 motion sensor, but you might have multiple motion sensors. So we'll click on our first one, which is the front sensor. Now we only want this to work when it's being breached, but when it's also armed and breached. If we leave it unbreached only, it means anytime the sensor gets activated. So when you're even at home and you're walking in front of it, the alarm will trigger. So we don't want that to happen. And so we only want it when it's armed and breached. And we don't want any time delay on this one. It's got to be instant. Okay, so straight away, as soon as it detects somebody, it will trigger the alarm. And here I would normally then put and, then I would add in my other motion sensors. Sorry, not and, or, because if we put the and command in, it means both sensors have to be breached. So if you had it in 2 different rooms, it means somebody has to walk in room 1 and another person in room 2 at the same time. But we don't want that. We only want it in either if whatever it has triggered. So we're always going to use the OR commands. So if one room gets breached, or if somebody walks in the other room or the third room, etc., that any of those get activated. So we would use the OR commands. But on this particular occasion, we've only got one sensor, so we'll just leave it at that for now. Then, first thing I want a notification that the alarm is activated via push. Alarm activated, send push message straight away, and that's an instant message. Alarm is activated. Then I'm going to have my siren activated to turn on the siren straight away. Then I'm going to have my siren turn off, as you can't leave sirens running indefinitely. So usually 15 to 20 minutes is the norm. So I'm going to put my siren to turn off after 15 minutes. Now 15 minutes, you've got to convert that into seconds, as in this only uses, it counts everything in the seconds, as you can see here. So it's 15 multiplied by 60, which is 900 seconds. That's the equivalent of 15 minutes. So to run through this scene, front sensor is breached and armed. So once the alarm is on and sensing, then somebody walks in, instantly it'll send me a message that the alarm is activated, and it'll turn on the siren, and then after 900 seconds it'll turn the siren off. So that's set, unless we manually turn the alarm off ourselves. So we'll save that one as well. And our final scene for this is the entry exit through the front door. So again, this time we'll call it alarm entry, and we will assign it to the alarm room. Again, give it multiple thingies, instances, and this time we're adding the front door as our trigger point. Front door as our trigger point. When it's the same principle, it's breached and armed, but this time 30 seconds. We want to give it 30 seconds first, and then if within 30 seconds if it stays breached for 30 seconds, so you've opened the door, you've got 30 seconds, and after 30 seconds the alarm will activate. But within that time you would actually have disarmed the alarm, and therefore it will automatically kill this scene and not run. And if you had another entry point, you would put the OR command in and say the back door as well. Then we have devices. Again, the end of the scene is exactly the same. We want our notification of alarm activated and instantly, and we would also want the siren to turn on, and then also and then we want the siren to turn off again. Systems alarm siren to turn off, same after 15 minutes. So this time, coming through the front door, if within 30 seconds we haven't disarmed the alarm, it'll then send me a push notification and turn the siren on, and after 15 minutes it'll turn the siren off, and then we just click on save again. So those are the scenes saved. There we have it. 4 scenes created. 4 scenes created, all 4 saved, and all 4 available on the mobile. And what we're going to do next is we're going to start testing these. So what we'll do, I'll have my phone here, and I'm going to turn the volumes back on so you can hear it. And let's look on devices, and I'm going to just pause I'm just going to pause for a second while I get my keypad. Right, I have my keypad ready, and I've also opened up 2 pages side by side to show you the scenes, and my mobile's here with the volume on full, so hopefully you can be able to hear the bleeps on the phone. So let's start with the alarm on. So I'm actually going to be using the keypad here. So you'll see this at the moment, it shows that it's safe. As soon as I press the button, it'll go red to show that it's been breached, and that's our trigger for the alarm on. So let's go for it. There. See that? You saw that scene triggered, and that was my phone bleeping to say the alarm is turned on. Now we wait 30 seconds, as we said before. And in the meantime, whilst I'm doing that, I've just remembered I can get a little notification reader, which I will quickly install on my phone. Right, 30 seconds are up, and as you can see, these 2 sensors are both armed. And now ready and in sensing mode. So
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, stop. I don't know why it keeps picking me up. It is quite sensitive. So let's what shall we do first? Let me just pause the video to install the app. Sorry about that. Right, I've installed that little shouter app. Now what will happen is we'll be able to hear the notifications coming up on my phone rather than hearing the basic bleeps. Next part is let's activate the sensor, and that should activate our siren straight away. So our siren is here. I've not connected anything to it, but you'll get the gist. And also, if you look on here, alarm activation, that should also start to start running. And there we are.
Notification from Fibro.
So
it says push HC2 minus 31.
so
Alarm activated.
So here, now the thing is, when the home center is running like this and you've got it open, this actually comes up straight away. So we have to effectively click on the alarm panel and then put our PIN number in for it to disarm. But I've just got rid of those X's on there. But you can see from here, on here, you can still see that red icon flashing away to show that it's still in the state of breached. But what I want to do is I want to actually disarm it using the key fobs instead. And if you have a look and look at that there, they're both armed. The siren is still running, and the keypad off is not breached, it's actually safe. And also, if you look at this alarm activation, running instances 1. The reason is we're on that timer now, 15 minutes before the siren gets switched off. But even when I turn the alarm off, that will keep on saying running instances 1, and after 15 minutes it'll send another command to turn the siren off again anyway. So let's run it and you'll see the activation on this one instead. There we are.
Notification from Fibro.
So you've heard the Fibro notification again.
30. Alarm off.
So with that, the alarm off ran once. It's done its job. It's disarmed both sensors and it's turned the siren off as well. Like I said before, alarm activation will continue to run because it's got that timer built into it. So after another 13 odd minutes, it will say send a signal for siren off. Now what we'll do is we will do the, and oh, another thing, notice up here that red icon is now disappeared because we've turned it off using our keypad rather than trying to put a number in the Fibaro app or the compute desktop itself. So now let's arm it again. Running instances.
Notification from Fibro. It says push HC2 minus. Alarm on.
So that's the alarm back on again. And running instances, so once we see that's finished, it means these two are going to be on as well. So give it a couple of seconds, should be nearly done by now. There we are, we're all back on, everything's running properly. See, alarm activation is still running, so that's why I keep it to 10 as well. So we'll let that carry on run. This time we're going to open the door. Now in Fiburo, you've got this will always do that, hence why we don't use the alarm panel. Now before 30 seconds are over, I'm going to disarm it, and the reason is you haven't heard that alarm off activated notification yet from my mobile. Because of that,
Notification from Fiburo. It says push HC2 minus. Alarm off.
so you didn't get the alarm activation there because we entered via the front door, and within the 30-second we turned the alarm off, and that's why you didn't hear the alarm activation. Instead you only heard the alarm off. So there you have it, a simple alarm control, and I'll leave that with you guys, and until my next video, bye for now.